We've been waiting to see, is everybody still getting along like they were at the finale?
And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I want to put my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie?
Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is episode 16 of Married to Medicine. This is the reunion, part one. This is my review. I don't even know why I even asked the question. Is everybody still getting along? Because they were getting along so well at that finale episode. They wouldn't be them if they were getting along now, would they? They done sat down like we did, and they done watched the show, and they done Twitter fingered, and they done carried on, and everything that was is not, and it's off the table. There's only one thing that has stayed, well, two things that has stayed the same. I guess Clarence and Jackie are okay, but we ain't really got to them yet. They ain't even brought him out yet. But Cecil and Simone, everything's fine, and they are literally happy and thankful for last year's reunion because it actually made them open their eyes to what the situation was and that they did not really want the situation they were in, which the divorce. So they called off the divorce. They're working everything out. They're doing well for now. But in another two drinks, Simone will be on something else. But well, we're gonna talk about that in a minute too. Anyway, moving on. There was this cute little piece of shade that took place with Jackie and Simone. They were teasing about Contessa's breasts and how they were messing with her and saying, "Girl, if you're gonna get a breast job done, why go back to the exact same size?" And she's sitting there, baby, and I'm gonna talk about the fashion in 2 seconds, but everything, she got all this teddy everywhere, and they're like, okay. Heavenly said, well, maybe I judged too soon. Titty everywhere, but okay, that's cool. And Simone was saying, men don't nobody want no flat chest, Jackie. Because Jackie said, well, you don't have to have a double D to be sexy. And Simone said, don't nobody want no flat chest, Jackie. And Jackie said, don't nobody want no flat behind either. I said, oh. Andy's so goofy, he didn't even catch the read, child. Simone had to bring him up to speed. She said, she's making a joke about my flat butt. I was like, wake up, Andy. What the hell you doing? What you drinking? You got too much Jack in your cup? Goofball. But anyway, okay, let's talk fashion. Nobody, and I mean nobody, no one knocked me out for this reunion. Not one of them. There's nobody who has hair that I just couldn't take. I just, nothing wowed me. I don't know. They just, it was more, it felt like, let's do this and get it over with. That's what I got. But the best dress were Mariah, Quad, and Contessa. The three had on gowns. Contessa got it right. The bra wasn't showing. Thank God. I was like, girl, I have to talk to you about a bra showing one more time. But the bra wasn't showing. It was fine. She was fine. She's in all red, real pretty shoes. Pretty. The dress is cute. Her hair is cool. Um, Quad velvet, royal blue velvet. Um, with a real high slit. And Mariah about the same. I think hers is purple, but it's about the same. Velvet with the real high slit. I said, okay, did y'all go shopping together or what? Um, Mariah's hair and makeup. Terrible. Terrible. Her head looked like there was a cat playing in it. It's everywhere. Fingers in the socket type of shit. That's what it's given. I'm like, what is that, Mariah? Now Mariah can dress. Now we know better than this. I don't know what the problem is. And that makeup, everything is so washed. She really does look like an extra for Coven. I was like, girl, American Horror Story. So I wasn't feeling that at all. That hair is a mess. For the first time, Simone has like a nice hairdo. She has a ponytail, and it's actually done. It's very neat. They must have just pulled her up out of the bowl with that relaxer she got, baby, because her hair is slick like that same cat that was in Mariah's head was over there licking on Simone's. Her hair is snatched like. I said, okay. And it's the same. Andy was teasing because he loves ponytails, child. It was the same ponytail basically that Toya had, but Toya has this really, really light blonde streak in hers, and it just it has you see my face, child. That kind of feel to it. Is Simone's is given reunion, but her dress, terrible, 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 terrible. Holly Hobby all the way. And then Toya actually has a Holly Hobby Slut Edition. So it's kind of the same shit that old Simone got on, but it's sheer. So she's Toya's Holly Hobby Slut Edition, and Simone's is Holly Hobby Grandma's Edition. A mess. But they just sitting there. I was like, y'all ain't get it this time. Not on them fashions. Jackie just looked like Jackie. Jackie's dress looks cumbersome and hot. It just looks like a hot, sometimes you get a velvet dress that just looks hot. It doesn't, because most of the velvet comes across very regal and very put together, and Jackie's just looks hot. The color ain't doing nothing for me or nothing. Her hair is nice. Jackie's hair is nice. She got a bob with some number 33 streaks in it. That looks nice. That looks kind of, it's a little youthful. It's giving Jackie a little something, something up in the face. And I'm liking that. That looks good on Jackie. Her hair looks nice. Quad's hair, it was very baby dollish. The Quad's whole look, for me, it looks like that, like a little black baby doll, like an old Barbie doll. Everything, all of it looks like a dressed up Barbie doll. Not bad, but not knocking me out. She can and does do better. She does better sometimes daily on the Sister Circle. This looked very much, let's just get this over with. Let's get this over with. I haven't felt none in fashions. Anyway, okay, so let's get back to this shit here. So, I see a lot of what looked like storyline garbage to me. I was like, what the hell? Simone, when they touched on to this little situation of Simone not coming around and her surgery, I thought we had passed all that. And it was like, okay, cool. It happened and it was done. Simone is still riding the I'm going to ride contestants back train. Simone, if you don't sit the fuck down, I don't know what you're trying to do, but I think I see it, and you're trying to roll some shit to go into season 7, but I don't think you want to roll that with G.I. Jane. You're going to mess around and get them damn buck teeth pushed back, playing around with Contessa. Simone has completely taken, she's just taken up Toya's fight with Contessa, and she just got it for Contessa now. I'm like, this is crazy. She's sitting there and she's talking about Contessa not coming around. You know, she said, girl, because you're a liar and a fraud. It just came out of nowhere. I was like, girl, I'm going to say it again. I don't know. It just seemed like that change of life. Girl, them hormones is doing like this. Or you trying to build a storyline. But I'm telling you, I don't think you want your storyline to be attached to G.I. Jane. Now, she didn't threaten to choke Toya out. Now, Simone, you know you can't fight. You know you can't fight. And you did it again. You broke out, called that girl a bitch. I was like, girl, if she reached for you, what's going to happen? What is going to happen if she reaches for you? And then she sat up there, and this was the first one. She jumped up there, and I don't get drunk around these ladies. Ain't nobody never seen me drunk, bitch. So now we ain't nobody? Nobody in the group there ain't nobody. None of us at home, the whole nation, none of us are nobody. Ain't nobody seen you drunk? Well, guess what? There's a whole bunch, thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of nobodies have seen you drunk, you little drunkard. You was tore down, honey, and we done seen it a million times. And Andy was questioning her like, girl, what? So now dig this. Dig this. We went from that bullshit with Simone to talking about Heavenly and Heavenly and Mariah's little situation. And at that point, every couple of minutes, we were getting into a thing because people's faces were telling the story. People were saying things and people were giving, like, I can't believe it. People were denying things and saying they don't do things. Everybody telling some lies over on that one couch. And it was really, I know everybody, it was Simone and it was Mariah. And every time they say something, everybody sitting around them is making these faces. And it just tickled me. And Heavenly said, everybody knows she's a liar. That was the thing that Andy asked her, what was aggravating you so much about Mariah? Everybody knows she a liar. She lies. And she said, I'm sick of her calling me a liar. This, that, thing, and the other. And that damn Heavenly said, because everybody knows that you're a liar. And I laughed at that point because then I realized that they had rode Heavenly's back so much about talking about your mama, your mama, your mama. She's given up your mama, and now she's hitting her with, you're a liar. And you're a liar gets under Mariah's skin just as badly as your mama. I don't know if you all clocked that or not. I laughed. I said, Heavenly, you are a petty bitch, but I am so here for that. I'm so here for every time she says it. It just drives Mariah crazy. And you know why it drives Mariah crazy? Because the bitch is a liar. The bitch is a liar. Every time they kept saying stuff, she'd say something, and Bravo, Andy, and his team and their bullshit, they run a clip. Bitch, you've been lying for 6 seasons. It is what it is. It's the truth. That's why it hurts. It's the truth. That's why it hurt. You was hurt because when she was saying that shit about Shoot Lucy, it was all the truth. And that's why you would get mad when she said, your mama's this, your mama's that. Because your mama was half of that shit she was saying. Lord have mercy. Listen, ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. So I'm laughing. Mariah sat up there and talked about, that was like some crazy shit. Talking about Damon. Talking about Shoot Lucy had got hit on by Damon back years ago when the show first came on and we were watching where they first came. The first time that Heavenly ever came to her house, Damon hit on Shoot Lucy. Now, how many of y'all believe that shit? How many of y'all believe that shit? So just completely making up shit. Her and Lake. And they showed the clip of Lake saying it. They brought all that up. I said, stop it. And they said, well, Shoot Lucy's in the back. And Heavenly said, go get her and bring her ass out here. Because I'd like to talk to her. Oh, no, I'm not going to disrespect my mother like that. And then Mariah gets to, oh, no, 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 no. I'm just going to need to go take a break. I'm not going to do that for, because of my mother, this, that, thing, and the other. I respected my mother. I'm not going to do that for her. Then she broke out and said, my mother is a very respected businesswoman in the Atlanta area. And that's when all this stuff started, baby. Look at these faces.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
A mess. Ain't about y'all. Did you see them faces? Everybody around us looking like, what? Since when was Shoot Lucy a respect? I said, child, just anything. Child ain't got time for Mariah and the shit to come out of her mouth. It'd be ridiculous shit. Then she goes right on, and this really got me in the beginning. Now, Aiden, you wasn't happy when Damon was going to whoop your ass when y'all were in Antigua. You were not happy. And he was getting ready to tag the shit out of you. And you wasn't happy. But first thing we see before the reunion even get rolling, we see this whole shit about this receipts. And Aiden back to talking about, I got the foul. Aiden is all in with his talking ass. You got the foul on Damon. I thought y'all had let all that go, but now you run around, y'all got a foul, and you're all in geared up about this shit with Damon. Do you really want that smoke with Damon, Aiden? Now I'm getting sick of it. Now I'm really getting ready to be where I'm like team goddamn fighting ass daddy. I'm like getting to the point where I'm like sick of this bullshit, and I'm ready to really see Damon windmill the shit out of you, Aiden, because you acting like a little bitch, and you really carrying on. Really carrying on. I said, girl, Miss Aiden, you get ready to get something. You keep it up, honey. Keep it up. And Mariah just keep on going, keep on going. So then they asked, well, where are the receipts at? Well, I got receipts. I do have receipts. I got them. And that goddamn Heavenly, look at her. She bust out them damn reading glasses. It was like, girl, where are the receipts, honey? I want to see them. I about fell out. I said, Heavenly, you are a clown. Heavenly is learning how to get underneath Mariah's skin without getting very upset, and it is hilarious. It is hilarious. I said, oh my God. Okay. And that's what, I need to go. I want to take a break. I want to take a break. I said, mm-hmm. Then she got to trying to backpedal and pussy pop. And then she said, oh no, I do have receipts. How many times, y'all, have we heard the liar say that she didn't have them? Yes, she do got them. So which one is it, bitch? Do you have receipts or don't you? Or did you say it or didn't you?
No, she don't have receipts. I do. Actually, in my dressing room.
Fucking mess. Fucking mess. So we went from bad to worse. By this time, Quad done got geared up over on this couch. She done got her battery going, honey, and she's like, oh, girl, she's lying, honey. She ain't got no damn receipts. She ain't got no receipts. Just like she claims she got receipts about me sleeping with her brother-in-law. Child, and both couches was giving, ooh. I said, uh-huh. Mm-hmm. See, because it ain't in the script. None of that got played out on the show. And that's what Quad says, yeah, see, there's Andy was clueless. Well, wait a minute, is this something that played out not on the show? It's about, no, this was supposedly before I married Dr. Gregory. And see, then Quad said there's a blog, and we seen it. We all seen it out here in the real world, in real world time, that the blog actually put out there that Quad supposedly slept with Lake's husband, and then Lake supposedly beat Quad up and all of this, and this is what ended Lake's marriage. And all of this was before Quad got married to Dr. Gregory. They did all of this supposedly. This was all before the show even came on the air. Then Lake was actually in Quad's wedding. Really? But you're sitting on stage now, Mariah, and this really hurt me. This hurts me to my core. You get ready to cry. But you wasn't crying when you was all in them wedding pictures. Lake wasn't crying all in them wedding pictures. So who's lying? Who's lying?
I think she aligned from the pits of hell.
And Quad says that she sponsors, that Mariah sponsors this blog. I don't sponsor that blog. Why would I sponsor a blog to have that to come out with that kind of story on you? Yeah, why would you? Well, because that just don't sound like you, Mariah. Bullshit. And that's what Quad said. And Andy said, well, wait a minute, Quad. So why would Mariah take her brother-in-law down and take her sister down, as you know, as well as you, in a kind of story like this? And Quad said, because, are you kidding me? Anything and anybody can be collateral damage when it comes to her trying to take me down. Honey, that damn Mariah then started that whole act of how she was, you know, so hurt because I only got one sister and she ruined it. We went over to her house, and this one I said, is you good, man? We went over to her house, and she had on my brother-in-law's t-shirt, and she smelled like him, and she had a stack of his business cards. First of all, I got a question. I have a question. Because if we're talking about inappropriate, how the fuck you know what your brother-in-law smell like? How do you know how your brother-in-law smell to the point that you were so close up on him that you know his scent? And you know it so well that you were enamored by another bitch that had the scent. And you know his shirt? How do you know your brother-in-law this well? You fucking him too?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Okay. I did not say that.
That's a hot piece of dick rolling around that way, ain't it? Who else got some? Because let you tell it, everybody want to fuck Shoot Lucy. She know what he smell like too?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Okay. I did not say that. Okay.
Lord have mercy. Then she goes on and she tells Quad, because Quad's saying, you're telling a lie. It's just a lie. And Andy was losing control. And that damn Mariah went out there, honey, and came down off of her chariot, baby, and told Quad, you nasty fucking hoe. I said, oh, well, my. And then Quad turned around and said, and you're a fucking hoe, bitch. I said, oh, my. Now the both of you whores was really doing it up. I said, my goodness. I said, okay. And then they both was like, now what? Now what? Well, child. Child, she said you's a hoe. You said that she's a hoe. And you called her a bitch. Just to recap, in case y'all missed it, honey. Now what? I said, oh, my. And they kept going, and she went on and went on, and then Quad sweetened the pot, baby, and bust out there and cut Mariah at her goddamn knees. I said, oh, girl, she just knocked down your pull-ups, honey. Your pantyhose just came unraveled. I said, oh, Quad, bitch. Quad said, God, get on out of here, girl, with your cocaine snorting ass. I said, oh. I said, oh, my God. Child, look at Mariah's face, honey. Cracked, honey. Cracked her face. Did you just say that I was doing drugs? I don't even smoke cigarettes. This, that, and the other. And Quad was over there smirking and giving I said, oh, Quad. Quad was looking just like the little girl from The Exorcist, honey, Reagan, in the corner right after she killed that goddamn, that pastor, honey, and was over in the corner like this. I said, oh, Quad, you dirty ass. She lit her ass up with that. I said, no, Miss Mariah, you ain't powdering your nose, is you, girl? I said, oh, my. Cocaine snorting ass. Honey, and Andy was sitting over there like this. Looking guilty. Looking guilty. I said, ain't nobody saying nothing about you, fucker. Calm down. Ain't nobody said nothing about you, honey. Just because somebody's talking about cocaine snorting, they ain't always talking about you, Andy. Sit up, bitch, and get this shit together. I said, Lord have mercy. Just a damn mess. But that was basically it. That was, and Mariah went out. She went out like this. Child, I will catch y'all next week for part 2, honey. This was just too much. Too much. Poor Mariah. Damn stockings that rolled down, honey. Now, what you gonna do now, Lord? What you gonna do now, girl? You better call Aiden and come on out with the shit. Y'all need to drop y'all's bomb.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Okay. I did not say that. Okay.